We're going to kick things off a little bit different this week. We're going to open up with a little question for you guys. Before we kick this off, we want your take straight away. Which coaching firing this week shocked you the most and which one was long overdue?
Welcome to Exleys on the NFL.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is Exleys on the NFL unfiltered UK style. Let's get into it. That is a fucking really good question before we jump straight into top stories like we normally do. Who do you think should have been fired a long time ago?
Pete Carroll.
I was literally going to say the same thing. He should have been fired ages ago.
Carroll, mate, they finished the season. With 3 wins.
That's fucking bad.
Their third win was against a dilapidated, limping Kansas City. So, I mean, they're on the third QB. Half their stars are injured.
Yeah.
And those that aren't injured would look like they gave up, or, 3 or 4 games ago.
Yeah.
The Chiefs weren't any real threat, and Vegas is celebrating like a 4-point lead. And it was like, mate, it's a pity win.
You have to think about the fact that they get an off season, yeah? But the Chiefs have done how many Super Bowls back to back? 3?
Yeah.
That makes it like...
You lose 2 months of the off season.
They've lost 2 months of the off season. They're healing as well as they should be. Like every other player that isn't in the Super Bowl, same as the Eagles. You fully expect that team that's won the Super Bowl or played in the Super Bowl next season to be a little bit more like, yeah. And I think that's why the Eagles took a little while to get going, the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I do think that. And I think that's a big reason why there hasn't been a three-peat of a Super Bowl team. Because it's almost impossible to do, because you look at the Chiefs and they got smashed in the last Super Bowl. Like you look at the Chiefs every other Super Bowl, it's been a much closer game.
Yeah.
This year, the only reason their points looked good this year was because we put the backups in, like in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So it's their stars playing against our backups, and they just got destroyed. I mean, it was, what was it? It was like 32-0 at one point, I think.
Yeah, it was for a long time, I think.
And then the Chiefs got on the board, and that was their first touchdown was a good one. I will give them that. And then the backups came in, and they just, started putting up touchdowns. And I think it was like 14 or 20 points in the end they had.
It's craziness, isn't it? Anyway, that takes us straight into top stories. And our top story this week was Pete Carroll getting fired from the Raiders. So he done 1 season in Vegas and...
One and done.
One and done, baby.
I knew it was coming.
I don't even know why they took him in. It doesn't make any sense. They
didn't really have a load of options, though.
But there's so many people that they could have taken. OC coaches, DC coaches.
Yeah, but the problem is, it was, how's the best way to put this? Pete Carroll has such a storied history, and he's done so much with so many players and the Seahawks. I mean, you look at what he did with the Seahawks for a long time. The problem is, you look at his run with the Seahawks with Geno Smith, and he brought in Geno Smith.
Geno Smith's not that. It's not that.
He leads the league in interceptions.
There's an accolade for you, boys.
That's not what any QB wants.
No, it's not, is it? Fucking hell.
Do you know what I mean? Him and Geno Smith. I think bring Pete Carroll in, but I also think bring in a different QB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe have Geno Smith as your backup.
Yeah.
Like New York did. They've got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson as backups. Fair enough. But don't make him your starter for the whole season and expect to be in a winning season.
It's not going to happen. And I do feel sorry. Like I say every week, I feel sorry for the players that are that caliber of player that shouldn't have to suffer with the Raiders. There's a few.
Think the other thing is the Raiders need too many different positions to have actually made that much of a difference.
Yeah. They've got Max Crosby. They've got, who's their tight end? Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. They're
great players.
Yeah.
But if you think about this, if you'd have taken Ashton Genty and put him with the Chargers, the Broncos, the Seahawks, someone who's got a half-decent O-line, you think of how much better he would have been this year. Mm-hmm. He would have probably been a top 20 running back, maybe a top 15 as a rookie.
Unluckily, he got drafted by the Raiders.
Maybe
Anyway.
this offseason they can do something with their O-line and he can perform better.
I'm pretty sure they've got first pick Raiders. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, I believe the Raiders have got the first pick, but it is not just the Raiders that made firings this week, though. As if you don't see it on social media, you must be blind. It's everywhere.
Jonathan Gannon from the Cardinals is gone. Honestly, I thought that could I didn't know it was going to happen, but I thought that could with what happened with the Cardinals.
I mean, last season the Cardinals didn't do too bad. This season, yeah, they had Kyler Murray last season playing pretty well. This season,
he was up and down last year. I remember that.
Yeah, but were they on a bye this week? Oh, they did. You're right. Yeah, I was just.
But yeah, I mean, they've ended at 3-14 this season.
That's what I was just trying to look at. 3-14.
Which, when you think about it, is really bad. They have half the games of the Saints, half the wins of the Saints, who everybody makes fun of for being a bad team. But the Saints won 6 games.
Hey, let's be real. We are just as bad as everybody else for taking the piss out of the Saints, the Steelers. No, not the Steelers, the Saints, the Jets.
But what I will say is the Saints I think they've kind of got some hope with the QB, with Tyler Shock.
Yeah, they have. The Saints. I don't want to make assumptions because we do that and then
I'm not saying he's their future. I'm not saying he's their future. I'm saying he was looking better than Spencer Rattler.
Mate, I look better than Spencer Rattler. I can't throw. Yeah.
They were so high on Spencer Rattler, but Tyler Shock was looking, at least for the games I saw in the last few weeks, he was looking a lot better than Spencer Rattler, unfortunately. So, if nothing else, it'll give them some half-decent competition for their QB in training camp.
Yeah, it will do. And then the Cowboys clean house as well. The Cowboys have fired DC Matt Eberflus. It sounds German. Matt Eberflus. Jerry had hinted that he would be going, so what can you say there?
I saw it coming. Their defense has not looked great this year.
It's not.
I do think getting rid of Micah was a bad idea.
Yeah, it was.
But I think, who did they get in return? Kenny Clark?
Kenny Clark, yeah. And Kenny Clark,
I think he's worked out.
Kenny Clark wasn't doing great for the Packers. I don't know whether he just felt his time was up with the Packers, and he seems to be doing a lot better with the Cowboys. We obviously got Micah. Micah fucking tore his ACL. Packers season has just been on a downward spiral. From the beginning of the season, we have been fucked.
You guys have had a lot of injuries. That's your problem.
Yeah, that is the problem. What can you say? 100%. Yeah, 100%. So I don't want to. I was just going to say, and then but don't say it because that's.
Well, I'm not saying it's worked out forever or what have you, but I think for the players involved, 100%. Micah seems a lot happier and Kenny Clark seems a lot happier.
Yeah, and he's played
so I think
outstanding.
Both of them are enjoying football again.
Up until the point he tore his ACL, he played outstanding for us. Such is life.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see how Jerry plays it next year. I do think they're going to be all over the news about it again because Jerry loves to be in the headlines.
And we give him that spotlight every week in our little one-man podcast.
But next up is Browns fire Kevin Stefanski.
What's going to happen? Is Shador going to be the starter next season?
I think they should have started Shador over Gabriel
earlier in the season.
Yeah, a lot earlier. I don't know if going from Flacco to Gabriel to Shador was the right move as such in the way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe giving both of them a chance was the right thing to do. But I think they sat on Gabriel for too long.
Yeah. Obviously, Colorado fan, and it comes across I'm a Shador fan more than anything, but he still makes rookie mistakes. He still fumbles the ball. But if they'd started him when they should have started him instead of Gabriel, do you think he would still be making them rookie mistakes? Because he's only played 6 or 7 games in the NFL with the starters. This late in the season, he should be, I think, have had a few more games and making fewer mistakes. He's better than Dylan Gabriel, 100%. I mean, they shut out the Steelers last week. And then, did the Bengals beat them this week? Yes. No, they beat the Bengals this week.
Yeah, because they had a couple of one or two defensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm just looking up now. I can't remember how many games Shador actually started.
I can't remember how many played. But this could be. I've seen things on Twitter and stuff like that. As soon as it come out that Stefanski had been fired, the Deion Sanders taking over as head coach shit started. I don't see him leaving college football and going into the NFL as a coach. Not next season.
So I've just looked up. Shador's played five games.
Yeah, he's still got his rookie legs, hasn't he? He's still got the.
I mean, they're still
welcome to the NFL
saying
moment.
They're still saying, what's his name? Caleb Williams was on his rookie legs in his second year. To
This
start
is
that,
second
and
year now,
had
isn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is to start it, like at the start of the season, they were still saying he's on his rookie legs, and he'd been playing the whole of last season. So if your whole first season is still your rookie legs, Shador is most definitely going to be still on his.
Yeah, it is a crappy way to start out, but
I think his biggest problem, and part of the reason he got such a late start, was his attitude during the whole draft process and meetings, and him and his dad being involved, saying if they didn't like a team, they were going to change it and all that shit. I think that fucked him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's possibly what got him a later start than he should have had.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
But Stefanski's...
I think it is a big...
It was quite a long time, because I believe he was part of the whole Deshaun Watson debacle and what have you. He has been since 2020.
Yeah,
so he's had a fair
6 years.
Fair few QBs under his watch. So I don't think he handled the QBs with the Browns very well.
Not at all.
I think he kind of screwed that franchise a bit.
Yeah, and hopefully they can find someone that can do something for the Browns. I think they've suffered long enough.
I don't think they have to make some miraculous turnaround. I just think a bit of hope is what they need. Next year, what they win this year? What, 4 games, 5 games overall? So maybe next year get 8.
Yeah, or
edge of the playoffs.
Do a complete about face and do exactly what the Bears have done this season.
And the Jags.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is.
If I remember rightly, I saw a thing earlier. Both the Jags and Bears have literally flipped opposite of their last schedule.
It's crazy, isn't it? It is.
So what, the Jags
crazy.
like 14-3 or something, or 12-3.
Yeah.
But they were the opposite way round. They'd won like 3 or 4 games last season.
Just looking at the standings now. So Jags are 13-4 and Bears 11-6.
Yeah, and I saw a thing that both of them last season were something like 13-4. So for the Jags to go 13-4 this season, I think that's not been talked about enough realistically.
No.
That is one hell of a turnaround.
I think we've done that as well, though. And I think for me, the Bears, I don't want to talk about the Bears being top of the North.
The Bears haven't been quite as impressive. I mean, they're 11-6. It's still a hell of a turnaround, though.
Considering how many times Caleb Williams was getting sacked each game last season.
Yeah. But if you notice, they haven't made a massive splash on like receivers and stuff like that in the offseason. But they've improved the O-line, which helps massively. And we said that before.
Yeah. And that's sometimes all it takes is, clearly, sometimes all it needs is just doing something with the O-line.
Caleb Williams wasn't a bad quarterback. There's a reason he was the number one pick. But if you've got an absolutely dog shit O-line, you end up last year with 3-4 or whatever they ended up. Yeah. I can't even remember how many games, but they've both made massive turnarounds, and fair play to them.
While we are on the sacking train, the Falcons clear the building, and the Falcons have fired Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, the GM.
So both head coach and GM gone.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they needed to.
The Falcons are 8-9.
They ended up 8-9. They had a bit of a run at the end of the season, but by the time they started winning games, they were already eliminated.
Yeah,
I think I did hear a thing just before we started recording, which is why it's not on the thing. They have restructured Kirk Cousins' contract, apparently. I don't know how it's going to work, but his guaranteed money in that he's still going to get, apparently. But he's going to hit free agency in March, apparently.
That's a spicy one. A spicy little hot take.
Whether he lands with another team or actually goes to free agency, I don't know. But that's a bit of a rumour I heard.
See that. I've got so many notifications, I can't even see it. Anyway, on to the Panthers, man. Panthers win the division, Steve.
Yeah. I mean, that literally came down to the Falcons-Saints game.
8 and 9.
The Falcons. Do you know what the funniest thing about this, though? Right? So the Panthers got beaten by the Bucks, and then it tied them for the division.
Yeah.
The Falcons then beat the Saints, which gave the Panthers the division.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Earlier in the season, and it's on camera, there's clips all over the place, the Falcons and Bucks played, and at the end, it's been clipped Baker Mayfield saying to Kirk Cousins, go win the South. He didn't win the South, but he gave the Panthers the South.
That is...
After the Bucks beat the Panthers. So I thought that was quite funny.
That's crazy.
But it's also the first time in like 10 years that the Panthers have won the division.
I mean, you think about Bryce Young last season. How many times did he get benched last season? He got benched, brought back, and then this season, it's like, it's a different person. It's a different guy on the field altogether. He's had some QB cereal.
It's crazy. But again, it goes back to that. If you've got a half-decent O-line, you can get more time to make a pass, so you can look through your readings more, instead of just trying to hit your first open receiver, who usually isn't actually open.
Did you see his, top-tier Pat Mahomes throw, side-armed around the guy rushing him?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
You need to look that up. Can't remember. It was obviously the game just gone where they played. Oh my God, my brain. Who did the Panthers just play?
Bucks.
We're literally talking about that as well. My brain is so shit. Yeah, you need to look that up. He side-armed it. He was being rushed. He side-armed it, got it round the guy rushing him, and he just fell straight into, I believe, one of the tight end's hands and run it in. It was crisp. You need to check that out. Yeah.
I will say, on top of incredible throws, did you watch the Colts highlights?
The Colts. Yes, I did watch that. Yeah, he
made a couple
really
of good deep ball throws that went straight to, I think, the tight end. And he was wide open. And these were just big bombs that he could just stand there and catch.
Yeah, where was he when Daniel Jones first went out?
I think he was on the team. They just didn't want to use him. I think the Phillip Rivers experiment failed epically.
I know, he didn't last long, did he? He was not in for long. Where's he now?
He was on the sideline of that game.
Is he just on a fucking,
He's retiring again, apparently.
He's on a pay-as-you-go fucking contract, he is. Just bring him in when you need him, and you don't ever need him.
No, I bet he signs another deal to not play, but just stay registered so he keeps them NFL benefits running.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Like if 4.5 years he'll re-sign with the team, get them benefits restarted.
Fuck, man. Eagles wide receiver history.
The Zimmer frame.
Using his walking stick just to huffed it over a little bit. So Eagles wide receiver history. DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown, both eclipse 1,000 yards again. What can you say? That's amazing, isn't it, really?
I believe AJ's only been with us 3 years.
I think he has been with you 3 years, if I remember correctly, and I'm not very avid Eagles fan.
Before, but yeah, I mean, 3 years, 2 straight 1,000-yard receivers is insane.
How many teams can say they've got 2 1,000-yard receivers
for 3 consecutive years? Usually, those kind of receivers want a new contract somewhere else, get traded and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think with all the drama about A.J. Brown this season, supposedly wanting the ball more and all that shit, I don't think that was coming from A.J. so much. I think a lot of that was hyped
media.
up. Because Philly hit media is big on taking a story and just fucking run with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not spoken about as much as A.J. Brown.
I mean, you look at A.J., he is built like a star receiver. He's huge, he's muscly, and he can just push people into the ground.
He's got
but
the legs
Smith
as well.
is skinny, he's small, and everyone thought he wasn't going to survive in the league.
Yeah.
But you watch him run around, and he's silky.
Yeah. Here's one for the history books. This one's a good one. I like this one. Go for it. You do it.
Myles Garrett taking the single-season sack record. 23.
That's fucking amazing, isn't it?
I believe it was last year TJ Watt had set the sack record with 22.5.
Yeah, I think it was TJ Watt last season. But did you see it? Did you see the sack? It kind of looked like he just led down.
I think
I don't know,
he
is the
knew
angle?
he was getting. I think he knew he was getting sacked, and I think he just gave up trying to run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was.
It's Burrow. Sometimes he just knows something's coming, and if Myles Garrett is almost upon you, what can you do? You're not getting away from him. If there's nobody blocking him,
down. Just lay down. Myles Garrett's coming down on you. Just fucking lay down. That is cool, though.
You've got to at least try to get out of the way. But I think it's impressive, and it shows that he was definitely worth the contract. Because you think he's on the Browns.
Yeah.
If they had more defenders that were able to do more, that defense would be insane. If they had more edge and tackles, that defense would be monstrous.
Can you imagine?
I mean, imagine Myles Garrett with like the Eagles defense. You know what I mean? Or with Micah Parsons.
Right.
Or you imagine Parsons and Garrett on the same team.
Tag teaming. Or him and Max Crosby.
They'd get back to the QB and go, go on, you take it. No, you take it. They'd have a little discussion. They'd have so much time.
So, Matthew Stafford had a monster year. He led the NFL in 2025 with 4,707 passing yards and 46 touchdowns. Mate, that's a lot of fucking touchdowns. That's a lot of fucking yards, isn't it? That's a lot of yards. Who didn't want him?
Yeah. Well, I think you look at it, though, and it kind of worked out. That trade with Detroit worked out for both teams.
Did it?
They got Goff, who's looking pretty good for them. And LA got Stafford. I think
if he just keeps going the way he's going, he's just piling up the accolades, really, isn't he? If you had to take a QB, right, this is a big one, and this isn't normally where we put a question for the viewers. Matthew Stafford or Patrick Mahomes? Same. I don't think I could take Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes is great, and he's
done some incredible things. Yeah.
But I think for consistency and knowing Stafford's going to zip that ball, if it needs to come out fast, I would take Stafford's ball over Mahomes. Because you watch Matthew Stafford throw a pass, any pass, and that ball's travelling.
Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes, for me, it's all about pizzazz. Do you know what I mean?
Flash.
Yeah. Everything's flash.
How it looks.
Yeah. And Matthew Stafford it needs to be there. Just get it done. But that's by the by. So on to our next one. Go on, sorry. Go on.
I think when Matthew Stafford does decide to retire, I'll be interested to see whether he retires a Ram or a Lion.
Ram. It's got to be a Ram in it, surely. Would you want to retire a Lion knowing that they didn't want you? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
And I think what he's done with the Rams is impressive anyway.
Yeah, fucking right, mate. He's done amazing, isn't he? To be fair. Definitely. Did you see this Colts ref controversy? This was a weird one. I watched it and I've seen the clips circulating loads. I know you're supposed to take this one, but I seen this. Alec Pierce scores what looks like a touchdown and then gets disallowed, right?
I sort of saw this. I still don't fully understand what happened, though.
He got ejected, and I couldn't work out what really happened. I don't know whether he touched the ref or he grazed the ref, but he got ejected. And
I saw he got ejected. I saw the touchdown got disallowed, but I still haven't worked out why
he got. Yeah, I can't work out why it was disallowed. I've looked at the clip from different angles. To me, it looked like it was in. But this week alone, I've seen some weird flags being thrown.
Well,
What game was it? I can't remember. Was it the Colts game? They were going in and touchdown celebration. They were just jumping backwards into the end zone. Twice that happened, and a flag was thrown twice. Was it the Browns game?
Browns. It was the defensive touchdowns.
Why were they not allowed to do that? I don't get that.
That was it looked like the old, do you remember the Marshawn Lynch backwards, grab the balls?
But they didn't grab the balls, did they?
I think they did. I think that's why they got thrown.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. To me, that
but the camera
really
angle
weird.
Doesn't show it properly, and I think because it looked the backwards jump and the way they sort of put their legs and everything looked very Marshawn Lynch style when he did it. And I can't say for definite that is what they did, but that's kind of the only thing I can think of.
TD.
But I think it might have been the Colts game. The refs called a thrown ball and catch out of bounds. And when they show a picture of it, the guy stood by the hash marks, like almost in the middle of the field.
It's so weird, isn't it? So weird. I don't know what's going on.
The refs really need this training scheme to come in this season.
If
sort of shits. It's not all the refs. I'm not saying it's every ref, and it's not every call, and not every call is a vendetta against some player or some team or, whatever. I think part of the problem is
that the Panthers
focusing...
game or the Jags game? The one you were just talking about? I sent you something yesterday about a guy was like breaking down the game, and there was 2 penalties called. One cost them 15 yards, and then one should have got them 15 yards, and they didn't get the 15 yards. Oh man, that's going to bug the...
Speaking of which, I don't know why that reminded me, but in the Eagles game, they got flags thrown on a play.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think the play stood or something. After the play, there was like personal fouls or something. 1 for the Eagles, 2 for who were playing Commanders, right? Apparently, that offset.
How's
2
that
personal
offset?
fouls from the Commanders and 1 from the Eagles, and that apparently offsets.
That doesn't offset. 1-on-1 offsets.
Yeah, but apparently 2-on-1 offsets, according to the ref.
We said this last season. The refereeing was really bad last season. This season, it's even worse. I didn't think it'd be any worse.
I think this season they're looking for things specifically, and they're almost ignoring other stuff.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Like, they're concentrating so much on things like false starts and stuff like that they're completely missing other stuff.
Oh, that was a Panthers. I'm sure it was the Panthers. Someone had his helmet ripped off, and it should have been an automatic 15-yard penalty for ripping off his helmet.
I've seen so many like face mask missed calls and stuff this season. It's insane.
He actually pulled his helmet off and threw it on the ground. I'm pretty sure that's 15 yards, and they didn't get it. We could do this all day, just talk about shit like this. Anyway, but Harrison Smith.
Yeah.
Legend, retiring, one of the greatest safeties of all time he has had. Go for it, Steve.
Well, 211 games, which is mad. 6 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, and is apparently the highest graded by PFF season ever at 98.8.
So, league history, 39 plus interceptions, 21 and a half sacks, second all-time.
For a safety.
Yeah, I
was going to say, because Myles Garrett's just done more of that in one.
Yeah, but if you think about for a safety.
Yeah. But so 21 and a half sacks, but 1,224 tackles, 104 passes defended, 38 interceptions, 12 forced fumbles, 10 recoveries, and 4 touchdowns.
Mate, who else has had stats like that?
That's currently playing. But aside from that, I mean, it's legends like maybe crap. This is going to piss me off because I know he was an Eagle and his nickname was Weapon X.
Weapon X?
That was actually his nickname. Yeah, it was Deion Dawkins.
It was just Brian Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins, yeah, not Deion.
I was just looking him up.
But yeah, Brian Dawkins. Yes. I mean, he was a beast. I mean, that was a different time when you could smash the fuck out of people.
Yeah, the rules now are different from...
Yeah. So I think with the rules amended compared to those people, that's an incredible career.
That is an incredible career. Anyway, we're still Titans coaching search, mate. The Titans are requested to interview Chiefs OC Matt Nagy for the head coach opening. Matt LaFleur was offensive coordinator, I believe, and that is why he is our offensive play caller, which doesn't work.
I was going to say, sometimes that doesn't work out. I mean, Sirianni was for a little while. It went bad. Everyone called for him, and he handed it over.
I think that's what Matt LaFleur needs to do. But I mean, I think Matt Nagy could do good for the Titans.
He could, yeah.
He does some amazing things with the Chiefs. He's done.
I think they
wicked things.
Titans definitely need to change. Nagy could be quite good for them. But it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I would say I think he would be a good head coach for the Titans. But would they?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, this is of course just they've requested an interview.
Yeah, I'm just speculating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they'll interview a bunch of people, so we don't know who else is going to come up as of yet.
Yeah.
Maybe someone else comes up last minute that previously their hat wasn't in the ring sort of thing.
Let's wait and see. Age old.
Yeah. Next one is Justin Fields and the Jets looking to part ways.
Didn't see that one coming at all.
Yeah. But I said it before, you know, I think the only way you would want to keep Fields is as a backup.
Your runner.
Or to play runner. He's not a passing QB, really.
No, that's why Steelers done what they done when he was there.
When they had him, yeah. But again, don't go and get bloody Russell Wilson. Don't work out for your other New York team, so
yeah. He's due $40 million over 2 years, so they've just got to release him, really, haven't they? Really. I mean, can the Jets afford to just swallow up $40 million? I mean, they've just got rid of Sauce Gardner, so that freed up some cap there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can make a trade, give you some draft capital to not necessarily pick some rookies, but maybe trade up higher in the draft.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, but we'll see. So, contracts, signings, extensions, and releases. Packers claim former All-Pro Trayvon Diggs off of waivers from the Cowboys. I mean, the first game he played, we get absolutely smashed by...
I don't think that was his fault, though.
No, it wasn't his.
Is a bit thin.
I wasn't saying that was his fault. I'm saying, like, such a shit way to start your career in any football franchise. But...
Well, I don't think it gets much worse than what happened with Sauce Gardner.
No.
His team were 1-8, gets traded, they go 1-8 again.
One day, Sauce. One day. Maybe you try and get to the Packers and help us out.
Rams extend safety Quinton Lake 3 years, up to 42, 27 points, 25.7 guaranteed, which is quite a lot for a safety.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's a lot of money. Ravens signed defensive tackle John Jenkins to a 1 year, $2.1 million deal. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go on. No, I just seen this. It was that. That's what I was like, what? 6.4 for a long snapper.
Yeah.
A defensive tackle is on less than a long snapper. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's 6.4 for 4 years.
I suppose, yeah.
So you divide that by 4 and he's not.
Yeah.
But
that's when you see it in a big chunk. When I just looked then, I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, injuries. The Dolphins have placed tight end Darren Waller on injured reserve with a groin injury. I mean...
That happened just before the game. I don't think that was necessary. It's one game.
Yeah.
Who are you going to call up that was going to make that much difference?
Yeah, it's fucking silly, isn't it? Anyway, so top games. Seahawks versus Niners. Niner gang bang. Bang.
That was quite a good game.
That was a really good game.
I think that outcome would have possibly been different had the Niners defense not.
Yeah, this is it's a reoccurring thing that seems to be going on at the moment.
I think the problem is with defenses, and the reason a lot of them have been a bit injury plagued, offense can make much more physical contact than the defense can and get away with it. The defense make a big tackle or something, and 9 times out of 10 they get a flag for it.
Roughing the passer. Pass
interference, holding, all sorts of shit. But the offense can just lower their shoulder into defenders and, throw them on the ground when they're catching a pass or whatever. And defenders can't do that. It is a very offensive league at the moment.
It is weird to see that they only got 3 points. That's just baffling, man. I know it happened.
I don't know what was happening with the offense.
They couldn't get going, which is strange when you think their QB is Brock Purdy. Do you know what I mean?
And
he's a playmaker. The
I
game
will say
last week,
they didn't have Kittle. And who else was it they didn't have? I think Juwan Jennings was out.
They had Kittle. Didn't they have Kittle? No, I'm sure he was in. Nah, George Kittle was in. Play by play. Yeah. Brock Purdy steps back to pass. Passing complete short. Right intended for George Kittle. CMC was Christian McCaffrey was in. I don't know. He was definitely in.
I didn't follow the play-by-play sort of thing as much.
Yeah.
I sort of watched the highlights, so I missed quite a lot of the snap-by-snap stuff.
And then our second game, Texans-Colts. That was actually a really good game.
The Colts had a fire week, I would say.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
Yeah, and the Texans' defense is so dominant. But considering they were on 8 or 9 games skid, the Colts actually put up quite a fight this week.
Yeah, they've done really well. They started out like well up there, and then
They
it
were
all just started falling apart. They took Phillip
they
Rivers
were
in
8-1 to start the season, and then
8-9.
What did they finish up?
8-9.
So
yeah,
that was a hell of a skid. Danny Dimes going out didn't help.
Bringing old man Rivers in.
Yeah, losing Sauce Gardner to, I think he went on IR.
Yeah, I think he is.
That definitely didn't help any of them three. Old man Rivers was just a bad call. I'm sorry. Who made that? Put them in a fucking nursing home.
Anyway, straight on to the rumours. The expectation is the Raiders' next head coach could be Jennifer King. You don't see it. I mean, would. She is a former assistant running back coach with the Commanders and the Bears. Has there been a female head coach in the NFL? Could she make history?
I think if she's good enough at the job, but I don't know if she'll get a head coach.
I mean,
She might go. She might go OC or something.
I mean, I don't
going
care.
From a running back coach to a head coach is quite a leap.
It is a leap, but it is a rumor. It's just something I've seen. But
yeah,
you could be any gender, doesn't matter. Anyone that can turn the Raiders round deserves a fucking crown. I mean, I would like to see it. I would
rather see the Jets turn around. They have been out of the playoffs for I haven't seen the playoffs for 10 years, if I remember rightly.
But wouldn't you want to see Max Crosby in the Super Bowl? I would. I think that'd be sick, mate.
Well, it depends. What side is he on? As long as the Eagles aren't in it, I'll see it.
Raiders, AFC.
Yeah.
Raiders at AFC.
I'll tell you what would make a good Super Bowl if the Raiders were playing well. Raiders and Chiefs.
Well, yeah, if you could get...
It's a shame they're in the AFC Championship game. Put them two in.
Yes.
Or, another thought, just to make the AFC Championship game even better, Mahomes versus Crosby.
Yes, I like. That would be a good one.
And to make it fair, you can give Crosby a QB to protect, and you can give, I don't even know what QB to use, maybe Matt Stafford, but you can give Pat Mahomes Chris Jones.
Yeah,
so Chris Jones and Max Crosby and Mahomes and Stafford. That would be an interesting game to watch.
Yes.
And they don't have to have a receiver. They've just got to get through the uprights.
Mate, I just thought of a cool idea that we could do. Dream fucking team. Your dream lineup. But we're not doing it this week because it's way too late in the podcast to do that. It's way too late in the season to do that right now.
Maybe we do that for next season.
Yes, dream team. So we got one last question before we... No, we're not doing that one. We've said that one. I've just got to think of a question now. Think of a question. Because this question, I don't know how it's managed to slip in here 3 times.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
All right, I've got one.
Go.
Playoff predictions.
Ooh.
Not for the whole playoff, but for wildcard weekend. Who do people see getting through and who do people see getting knocked out?
Yes.
Do you have a favourite team? If it's not your team playing, does everybody have a favourite team? Let us know in the comments.
That's a really good one. I like that. But unless you've got anything else, thank you for tuning in to Exleys on the NFL. Follow us on Instagram at Exleys NFL Podcast, on TikTok, TonyXley12. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and we will see you next week. Peace.
That's all from us. See you next week on Exleys on the NFL, and thanks for watching.
1, 2.